Hello everyone, myself Dr. Jyoti Gangurde, Assistant Professor of Zoology, KTHM College, Nasik. Students, today we are discussing on the topic brain, that is the anatomy or basic structure of brain, its gross anatomy as well as microanatomy. So, let us discuss first with the brain. So, here the gross anatomy where the insect brain represents the supraesophageal ganglion and it lies above the esophagus in the oculofrontal region of the head. It is a bilobe structure. Both the lobes are well differentiated from each other by a distinct median furrow. So it is externally covered with the air sac and fat body. The brain runs ventrally and opens here into the aorta runs ventrally and opens into the brain. Now the insect brain is divided into three dorsoventral regions of the forebrain or that is protocerebrum, the middle or the deuterocerebrum and the hindbrain or the tritocerebrum. So the insect brain which is divided into three parts, what we say is that three regions, forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain which is nothing but the protocerebrum, midbrain which is nothing but the deuterocerebrum and hindbrain which is nothing but the tritocerebrum. So we can see all the regions one by one. So the protocerebrum here, the protocerebrum, it is the anterodorsal larger region of the brain representing a fused pair preantennal or archaecerebral ganglion. It bears on each lateral side, that is optic lobes, and receives the optic nerves from the optic lobes. Then the ocellar nerves from the median and lateral ocella, and it gives the nerve, that is cardiac nerve, innervating the corpora cardiaca and aorta. Now this is what about the forebrain or protocerebrum. Now the protocerebrum which is followed by the middle brain and it is nothing but the deuterocerebrum. So the deuterocerebrum, it is the middle part of the brain representing the antennal ganglion. It gives out a pair of lateral antennal nerves innervating the antenna. Now the third region of the brain is the tritocerebrum. The tritocerebrum is the hind or ventral part of the brain representing the ganglia of the intercalary segment. It gives out a pair of labrofrontal nerves which soon divided into two branches. The labral nerve innervating the labrum and the frontal connective terminating into the frontal ganglion. The tritocerebral lobes are connected with the esophageal ganglia by the circumesophageal connections. Now, this is what about the tritocerebrum or the hindbrain. Now, come to the microanatomy of the brain. Before you can focus on this diagram. So, this is the diagram of the basic structure of insect brain. Here you can see, starting from that is the ocellar nerve. Now, ocellar nerve, here you can see, this region is the pars intercerebralis. Here you can see the protocerebrum or protocerebral nerve. Now, here you can see, this is the calyx. Now, calyx which is shows the region of the peduncle. Here you can see these bodies. These are nothing but the ganglions. And here you can see the chiasmas, they are formed in between these ganglions. Or again, what we say is that here, you can see the medulla internalis. Now here antennal nerve. Here you can see this region of the brain, that is central body of the brain, and here you can see the accessory lobes of the brain. Here you can see these are the antennal lobes from which the antenna which innervate or nerves which innervate to the antenna. And here you can see the tritocerebrum. Here you can see the circumesophageal connectives, and here you can see the commissure, that is the post esophageal commissure. So this is what the basic structure of insect brain. Now we can focus on the microanatomy of the brain. Now the microanatomy in that, first the brain sheath. The brain sheath are we called as a cerebral neurolemma. Cerebral neurolemma, or again we says it as a brain sheath. Now such a cerebral neurolemma, it is composed of two layers, the outer neural lamella and inner perineurium. So such a brain sheath which is containing or which is composed of two layers, the outer neural lamina or inner layer which is the perineurium. So the neural lamella is non-cellular while the perineurium is a cellular layer. So means in the neural lamina the cells they are not present or it is non-cellular, whereas the perineurium, it is a cellular layer where the cells they are present. Now the next part, that is neural lamella. So the neural lamella, it is a thick layer composed of protein collagen-like fibers having repeated bending pattern. The fibers are 130 angstrom degree in diameter and are randomly oriented through often arranged parallel to each other. Now the fibers are here shows the matrix of amorphous granular substances containing mostly the mucopolysaccharides. Now the mucopolysaccharides show the chemical properties, that is chondroitin, dermatan or dermatan sulfate and keratin sulfate. Now the neural lamella is 150 to 200 angstrom degree thick in case of Coleoptera and 500 to 600 angstrom degree thick in case of Orthoptera, and in most of the insects it is differentiated into an outer homogeneous dense and inner less dense heterogeneous sublayer. So it is travelled by a large number of trachea. The lamella is secreted by the perineural cells after modifying into the fibroblasts and secreting the collagen fibers. Now it provides mechanical support and protection to the ganglia as well as nerve cords in general and to the brain body in particular. So means it is protective in nature. Now the next part, that is perineurium. So the perineurium is a thin cellular layer lying beneath the neural lamella as its inner layer. So it is composed of two types of cells. The cells of one type are rich in mitochondria, fat droplets and glycogen granules. The adjacent cells are communicated with each other by a series of tortoise channel or complex here interdigitations or cone-shaped septate desmosomes. So these cells are considered as the nutritive cells providing various nutrients to the cortical neurons. The other type of cells contain the intercellular spaces which are often filled with an amorphous matrix embedding the collagen fibrils and producing the neural lamella. The perineurium is trophic in function and also act as a blood-brain barrier. Now, the next part, that is cortex. Now, the cortex it is the peripheral region of the brain and other ganglia. So it is filled with the monopolar motor neurons and glial cells. Here some of the neurons are modified into the neurosecretory cells and terminate into the neurohuman organs. Now come to the neurons. What are the neurons? So the neurons, they are classified into 2 in number in case of Periplaneta and 5 in number in case of Callipoora. So such neurons, they are classified according to the types or according to the variation in the size of their soma and their cytological features. Their cytoplasmic organelles include the mitochondria and Golgi complex predominantly along with the microtubules and dense vesicle containing enzymes such as thymine pyrophosphatase and acid phosphatase, then adenosine triphosphatase and neurotransmitters. Here, the neuronal bodies are closely surrounded by the glial cells with a gap of about 100 to 200 angstrom degree occurring between their plasma membranes. Now the glial cells often send some invagination into the peripheral cytoplasm of the perichiera of the nerve cells, called the tropospongia or the canals of Holmgren. Now, followed the cortex, the next part is the pars intercerebralis. Before that the glial cells. Now, the glial cells, they occur in insect in the tunicated condition but never in myelinated form as occurring in the vertebrates. So, they envelop the entire body of the neurons and provide insulating and protective covering around them. So, they extend the process within the medulla of the ganglia to invade the axons. So, around the axon, the glial sheath may be composed of a single or many folds as layers. Sometimes a single glial sheath may enclose various axons or a single axon may be encircled by a large number of glial sheaths. The glial cells are also termed as the neuroglia, then lemnoblast cells or Schwann cells. And such a cells, they are classified into 3 or 4 categories in case of Rodnius, in case of Musca or in case of Formica. Now, such a giant axons are ensheathed by 7 to 8 glial cells fold spiral around their periphery and called the mesaxons. Now, the gaps occurring in the glial folds may be distended at intervals which are filled with the hyaluronic acid and may serve as the nutrient and cation reservoir. Now, the adjacent glial cells are connected with one another by gap junctions or zonula occludens and tight junctions or zonula continua and desmosomes. So, these junctions simply maintain the structural integrity of the system. Now, this is what about the glial cells. Now, the next point, that is pars intercerebralis. So, the cortex which contains the next region, that is pars intercerebralis. Now, pars intercerebralis is the well differentiated median anterodorsal cortical region of the protocerebrum of the brain. It is bounded laterally by the corpora pedunculata, apically by the neurolemma, and ventrally by the central body. Now it is divided into two identical halves by a median furrow and specialized by possessing a distinct group of neurosecretory cells on either side of the furrow. Now these cells are termed as the medial neurosecretory cells. Their axons form the axonal tracts which cross over each other at the middle of the brain and finally emerge out of the brain as the nervi corporis cardiaci innervating the cardiaca, that is what we denoted it as a nervi corporis cardiaci 1, 2 and 3. Now here and the corpora cardiaca it is written as a C, capital C, capital C. Now here besides the medial neurosecretory cells, these are large number of neurons invested by the glial cells and some of them are receiving the tropospongia. Now the lateral cortical regions of the protocerebrum is filled with a large number of neurons and some neurosecretory cells. The lateral neurosecretory cells in each hemisphere. The neurosecretory axons run anteroposteriorly and form the nerves. Here the nervi corporis cardiaci externi. It is that is what we says that nervi corporis cardiaci second entering the corpora cardiaca or which may fused with the nervi corporis cardiaci 1. So the cortex of the deuterocerebrum is exclusively occupied by the neurons and the glial cells. Here the tritocerebral cortical region contains a paired groups of the neurosecretory cells, the ventral neurosecretory cells which extend their axons and constitute the nervi corporis cardiaci third, or simply which may fuse, that is nervi corporis cardiaci first, which is fused with the second, that is nervi corporis cardiaci second or 2, and the remaining one, that is the nervi corporis cardiaci 3 or third, which may fused with both, that is nervi corporis cardiaci 1 and 2. Now this is what about the microanatomy of the brain. Mainly the brain which constitute the regions such as the forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, that is protocerebrum, deuterocerebrum as well as tritocerebrum. Now again in microanatomy we are discussing on the brain sheath, then neural lamella, after that the perineurium, and again the cortex which shows the presence of neurons, glial cells, then pars intercerebralis. Okay, now the medulla is again the region of the cortex, is the major occupied region of the cortex. Such a region or such a part we discuss in the next lecture. So before that you can focus on this diagram again. This is the histology of the brain. So here you can see this is the neural lamella. Here you can see the neural lamella, and here these are the neurolemmas or the fibers. Here you can see this is the perineurium, the space, that is the perineurium. Again here you can see the glial folds are there. Here you can see these are the glial folds. Again you can see here these are the glial cells or the glial folds. which is surrounded by the lacunas. Again you can see the glial cells. Again here tropospongia. Okay, the cells surrounding the glial cells are the tropospongia. Now here you can see here the axon region or the axons are there, and here you can see the nerve root. So this is the histological section of the brain. You can again focus on this diagram once again. So this is what the basic anatomical structure of the brain. Here you can see this is what the lobules or the lobes. They are connected by the chiasmas, that is here you can see inner chiasma. Here you can see the medulla externa, then again having the medulla interna here. You can see here this now here you can see the breech or the pedunculum. Then here you can see the protocerebral breech, protocerebrum, the area of the middle of the brain, that is pars intercerebralis, or here you can see the ocellar nerve which innervate to the ocelli. Again here central body, accessory lobes. Here you can see accessory lobe, antennal lobes, tritocerebrum. Here again post esophageal commissure, and this is the circumesophageal cavity. Now again the major part of the brain, which is major region of the cortex, which is occupied by the medulla. Such a part we'll discuss in the next lecture. Okay, so thank you so much.